Today we're discussing major changes happening in Argentina that could affect thousands of expats, digital nomads, and anyone considering this South American nation as their next home. Argentina has long been known as one of the most welcoming countries in Latin America. With its European flair, affordable living, and relatively straightforward immigration process, it's been a magnet for people seeking a fresh start. But all that is changing. On May 14, 2025, President Javier Milei's administration issued an emergency decree that overhauls the country's immigration system. These aren't minor tweaks. They represent a fundamental shift in how Argentina approaches immigration, residency, and citizenship. So why the sudden change? According to the government, it comes down to numbers and sustainability. Over the past 2 decades, approximately 1.7 million people have entered Argentina without proper documentation. This has placed significant pressure on public services, particularly healthcare. Last year alone, medical treatment for foreign nationals in public hospitals reportedly cost Argentine taxpayers 114 million pesos. Let's break down what's actually changing. First, entry requirements are getting much stricter. Previously, Argentina mainly restricted entry to those with serious criminal convictions. Now, anyone with any criminal record may be barred from entering the country. This is a dramatic shift that aligns Argentina more closely with countries like the United States and Australia in their approach to immigration screening. Those seeking Argentine citizenship must now declare their intentions on arrival in the country. To obtain citizenship, you can make what the decree calls a relevant investment in the country, though details on what qualifies remain somewhat vague. Permanent residency requirements have also tightened. Applicants must now demonstrate they have sufficient financial means to support themselves and maintain a clean criminal record. This appears aimed at ensuring new residents won't become a burden on public services. Perhaps the most controversial changes involve healthcare and education. Temporary residents, tourists, and those with irregular status will now be required to pay for health services. Additionally, all visitors must show proof of medical insurance upon arrival. While primary and secondary education remains free for all residents, as guaranteed by the Constitution, national universities can now establish tuition fees specifically for temporary residents. The deportation criteria have also expanded significantly. Previously, only those sentenced to more than 5 years in prison faced deportation. Now, anyone who commits any crime in Argentina, regardless of severity, could potentially be deported. This raises serious questions about proportionality and due process. What does this mean for you if you're considering Argentina? First, timing is everything. If you're already in the process of applying for residency or citizenship, you'll want to consult with an immigration attorney immediately to understand how these changes affect your specific situation. For digital nomads who've been using Argentina's generous tourist visa policies to stay long-term, the landscape is shifting beneath your feet. The government is clearly signaling that it wants visitors to either formalize their status or move on. If you're planning to retire in Argentina, the financial requirements for residency may now be higher, though the decree doesn't specify exact amounts. Having proof of steady income or substantial savings will be more important than ever. For investors, there may actually be a silver lining. The mention of a relevant investment pathway to citizenship suggests Argentina is still very much open to those bringing capital into the country. We'll likely see more details on investment thresholds in the coming weeks. It's worth noting that these changes don't exist in a vacuum. Throughout Latin America, countries are reassessing their immigration policies as regional migration patterns evolve. Chile tightened its rules in 2021, and Brazil faces increasing pressure to address growing migration flows. The decree ends with a telling statement. In this country, within the law, everything. Outside the law, nothing. This encapsulates the government's position. Argentina remains open to legal immigration while taking a harder line on those who don't follow the rules. For the millions of immigrants already calling Argentina home, these changes create uncertainty. For those considering Argentina as a destination, the message is clear. The welcome mat remains out, but with more conditions attached than ever before. What remains to be seen is how these changes will be implemented in practice. Will there be enough resources to process applications under the new requirements? How will authorities identify those subject to deportation? What happens to families with mixed immigration status? The coming months will reveal whether these changes represent a temporary reaction to current challenges or a fundamental reshaping of Argentina's approach to immigration. Either way, if Argentina is in your plans, you'll need to adapt to this new reality. If you want to reduce your taxes to single digits, make your assets impossible for anyone to touch, and gain more freedom with second citizenships, get in touch with Mundo and book a consultation call. We will help you develop a complete blueprint to organize your life to safeguard your wealth and your freedom. Follow the link in the description for more details. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.